Teaching and learning communication skills. Now, if you look at this picture, what do you think? Do you think this man is going to become a good football player? It's almost impossible. Watching how somebody else is playing football is not going to give you enough, not even knowledge, experience, or a capacity to become a football player. Communication skills also same. Now you have been watching and listening to lectures about communication, but that I'm sure is not going to give you the competency that is required to become a good communicator. Maybe that you have changed your attitudes. Maybe some of the lectures information has touched your heart. Maybe you will change and become a good person, but then skills need to be practiced. Like this boy, it's essential for him to go to the football playground and play it. Learning communication involves several aspects of learning. It's not only knowledge, but also it's a matter of learning skills and attitudes. But I like to look at it from a different angle. Learning communication skills address all domains of the 21st century education. It involves the knowledge, and that include understanding about the subject and about communication skills. And then there are skills. What is the process of doing it is important. And then all these skills that is described in the 21st century skill framework, education framework is become relevant to learning communication skills. And your character qualities matters. So communication process, learning communication can change the character qualities. And then it's an opportunity for meta learning, learning about yourself. You need to think about it. Thinking about methods of learning, now in one corner, our teaching and learning processes are facilitator centered. That's what we call didactic teaching. And that is in the minds and the head of the teacher. On the other end is learner centered. That is experiential learning, experiential leading to change in behavior. In between, you have a mixture of things. Experiential leading to deeper discussions and understanding. So, what we are trying to do today is you are going to move into more of a learner-centered learning, where you will be practicing and you will be getting into a real understanding about communication, mainly by experiencing the situation as it is in a real practice. Even though we are doing that with actors, that's going to give you a real life experience. In the process of learning, we will be using this is what is called agenda-led outcome-based analysis of learning communication skills. This is same as the Calgary-Cambridge model that we learned earlier, where we have the process in the center of various stages, and then on either side you have building relationships and then providing the structure. You can see that this also you have a beginning here, end here, and the structure, but we'll look at it more simplified version in the next slide. Now, when we conduct these communication skill training sessions, you will see the learners gather in a circle, and in the center you have an actor who is doing a role play, and one of you will come to the center and you are the person who is practicing, and the teacher is in the circle waiting outside to see what is happening. So in the process, we will ask the role playing actor to do the role playing, and then that actor will role play as if he is in that role, and then the learner will practice that communication skill. So all in all, teaching communication skills is a complex thing. But then it is more of a conversation rather than unidirectional telling people what to do. So again, you can see that building relationship during the process is important, and the teacher will provide a structure for the whole program. Now I am doing this lecture to you all as learners of this program, but it's good to have that understanding as to what is happening. At the beginning, the facilitator will set the scene for the experiential learning. That means arrange chairs, tables, place to write things and things like that, and identify the interviewer's initial agenda. And your facilitator will invite one of you to come to the center, and he will ask this crucial question: what do you want to really learn today? Now that's a question that many students reluctant to answer properly, but then you should not hesitate to tell what you want to learn. And by now we expect you to have some idea, some feeling, some curiosity to do something. So that is what you should express, and that will be written down in a flip chart so that everybody will know what is your agenda is. And then I will be asking the whole group to support you as to how to do well on what you are trying to do. And then I will be inviting the entire group to get ready to give feedback to the learner who is in the center. That is the initiation of the session. After that, you will be given a task, you will be told what to do and what is expected, and then you will engage in the conversation with the learner, with the simulated actor. And then we in the circle which watch the interview without disturbing. After doing that, halfway through, I might stop you and ask you to stop. And then I will acknowledge the interviewer's feeling, because by that time the interviewer who is playing in the center will have a lot of stress, and we acknowledge the interviewer's feeling and then refine the interview's agenda. We look at the agenda that you have given at the beginning and refine it. And then we identify the desired outcome for interviewer and the patient. Now here the patient or the client. And then we offer feedback, and then we can invite you to re-rehearse the skill. Now feedback, the first I will be asking you to reflect, the person who is playing in the center to reflect. And then I will ask the group to give feedback, and then in between I might ask the actor to give feedback. So that is the process of learning. The learning happens at the time of you try to reflect, at the time you try to give feedback, you receive feedback. So that is how we learn in the experiential learning sessions. And then you can see that there's a review tape and still spotting that is done if there's the recording process, which we are not going to do in our program. And then as a teacher, I will be introduce learning points, teaching points, and I will generalize what was learned and then close the session with the plan. So that is what is going to happen in our teaching learning sessions. Giving feedback is the most important part of the entire process of learning in communication experiential learning setting. And we promote the learners and the facilitators, everybody, to give observation-based, non-judgmental feedback. To facilitate that, this set-go approach is described. You are expected to say what I saw. Describe what you saw. Something like this. I saw that you asked several close-ended questions. And then describe what happened next. What else did you see? As a result, the patient had to confine to yes or no answers. And then what did you think? I think you should have asked more open-ended questions. That would have given an opportunity patient to tell the story. And then talk about what goals are we trying to achieve. The goal that you were trying to achieve was to get a genuine story from the patient. That was, I don't think you achieved it because of this reason. And then I feel, any offers on how to achieve, and it is better for you to ask open-ended questions. So that is how you will be giving real feedback, authentic, non-judgmental, descriptive feedback. So the process of giving feedback is the most important part in this education program, and the feedback should be based on what is expected by the learner. That is why we ask them to tell what they want to what the feedback they want at the beginning, and it should be specific, not too many things, but specific about it, about his opening question, questioning methods, and the reactions and expression of empathy, things like that. And it should be based on observation. That's why I notice is become important. And then whenever you give feedback, when you suggest that this was not very effective, probably you will be saying, what about doing something this way? So with suggestion, alternative suggestion. And it is essential to be non-judgmental. Don't use the word like you are ignorant, you are too fast, and you are a careless person, or you are unempathetic, and things like that. And then always better to talk about skills that can be corrected. So that is the end of this brief lecture on how to learn communication skills. I think it's better for you to have some understanding as to what the facilitators are doing, because some of those activities like asking what do you want to learn, you might feel that it's a bit odd, but then there's a purpose and there's a very high educational concept behind that. The learner should be attuned to learn, and then they should think about what they want to learn beforehand. So that is what the purpose is. So that's the end of this lecture. There will be couple of questions at the end of this lecture, and this is the last lecture, and I'm sure you are ready to come for the experiential learning session now. Thank you.